Were you told you were shy? Do you identify as shy? Do you hate that word now? Do you just wish you could get over it and get on with your life? Welcome to Shining Beyond Shy, empowering you to create a greater life than you ever thought was possible. With your Shining Beyond Shy host, Fiona Cups. Hi, Fiona Cuts here. Welcome to this episode of Shining Beyond Shy. How does it get better than this? So here I am in the UK, and I've just been at an amazing Access Consciousness class with the co-founder and co-creator of Access Consciousness, Dr. Dane here, a class called Being You, Changing the World. And we talked about all kinds of things, but one of the things that came up a lot was around avoiding and defending. So I'm calling this episode, I'm calling it Avoiding and Defending. And so it's so funny with this, and I know that there are people who aren't shy, don't consider themselves shy, who listen to this podcast, and a lot of what I say will be relevant to everyone. And I just want to draw out how this can be particularly useful for people who are shy. So avoiding and defending. So what occurs when we're shy? So we decide something about ourselves and we shut ourselves down. And I've talked about this a lot in other episodes. And so as with any area of our lives, but in this case, we're shutting ourselves down. So we tend to go quiet. We tend to not create so much in our lives. We tend to kind of feel a bit unsure about ourselves. And with all of that, there's stuff that we're avoiding. So this is the way that the clearing works. So what are you avoiding with the shyness you are choosing? So all the energy that comes up with that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. That's the Access Consciousness clearing statement. So what occurs is that I ask that question, what are you avoiding with being shy? And it may be that you get something jump into your head. When I was asking questions before this episode, I was like, oh, greatness. It's like often we avoid our greatness, our potency, our power by choosing to be shy. So it may be that you get an actual cognitive answer, or it may be that it's just an energy. You don't actually have a word, but there's an energy there. The clearing statement will clear it all. So basically it clears those spaces in our in where we're not willing to be the potency of us, but it also clears whatever that weird energy is that comes up when I ask, hey, what are you avoiding with the shyness you are choosing? And you will notice, if you already know the clearing statement, that there's a new aspect to it, and that's the POVADs, which actually is the subject of this podcast. So points of view, you're avoiding and defending. That's what POVAD stands for. And so this is so strong that for the first time in many, many years, Gary Douglas and Dane here have chosen to change the clearing statement so that every time we release something from the past, we're also releasing the things that we're avoiding and the things that we're defending. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the clearing statement, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and you can read and you can watch some information about that. So yeah, what are you avoiding with shyness? And then the other thing is that we tend to defend. So it's like, and I know that I used to do this and sometimes still can in certain situations. Hey, don't you expect me to do that? I'm shy. Yeah, I'm shy. I had this difficult childhood and I had all this stuff happen to me. And that's actually where you're defending that you're shy. And we can clear that too. So truth, what are you defending with the shyness you are choosing? Everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. And what popped into my head, and it may be mine, it may be that I'm psychic and picking up other people's. Well, I am psychic, so it may be that I'm picking up other people's. Defending my right to be shy, which kind of makes me laugh, and defending that I'm not going to change. How can I change? I'm too shy to change. It's that kind of energy that came up for me. So again, me naming it, everything me naming it brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. And there's a particular thing with this, with using them both together. So often we don't just avoid something, we defend it too. Often we don't just defend something, we avoid it too. And when we avoid something whilst defending it, it makes it very, very difficult to change it. And so this, what we're finding in Access Consciousness at the moment, that this is changing things that some of the other clearings haven't been able to change. Sounds like Heineken, reaching those places no other beer or lager or whatever it is can reach. Some advert from my past that just popped into my head. How does it get better than this? So yeah, avoiding and defending at the same time. So truth, what are you avoiding and defending with the shyness you are choosing? All the energy on that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. So the thing with defending is that it can be a very, hey, don't go there energy. And so if you're facilitating someone else, if you are a facilitator, or if you know these tools and you use them with other people, just be aware of that. But also be aware of it with yourself. It's like when you ask yourself your questions, what am I defending with shyness? You may find, hey, keep away. Even though I'm facilitating me, just keep away from that. So it's sometimes a good idea, as I have just done, to start with the avoiding. Hey, I wonder what I'm avoiding with shyness. That could be a sort of an easier way in if you're facilitating yourself. So for me, hey, Fiona, what are you truly avoiding here? Just that, having that kindness. Oh, what am I avoiding here? And it's really interesting, since running these clearings, I mean, we run them at all kinds of stuff for 3 days, non-stop pretty much in this class. There's all kinds of stuff that I had kept hidden from myself because I was avoiding it. And I had no idea I was avoiding it because it was hidden and I was avoiding it. So it can be brilliant for just revealing what you've been avoiding and hiding. If you find that as stuff comes up, you go to wrongness, it's like, oh, shit, I wish I'd known this before. If you come to any of that, just run the clearing on your wrongness. Truth, what am I avoiding and defending with the wrongness of me I am choosing? Everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Making yourself wrong never creates more. And we know this, but we're like, how do I stop making myself wrong? It's like, it's such a habit. And try this. Truth, what am I avoiding and defending with the wrongness I'm choosing? And you may need to run these clearings a lot. Like me, still running them. And so going back to where I was, running the avoiding first. So if in this case, hey Fiona, really, what are you avoiding with this shyness that you're still sometimes choosing? Everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. And when you've done that a few times, you can, it's like it's cleared enough that you can go to the stuff that you or the other person is defending. Oh, okay, so I've cleared some of the avoiding. Truth, what am I defending with the shyness I am choosing? Run that a few times and then run them together, because there is that kind of special stuckness that comes when you get them both together. So truth, what are you avoiding and defending with the shyness you are choosing? Everything that brings up. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. So I think that's all I'd like to say today, but really I suggest running those clearings. I mean, we've run them a few times together, but continue to run them yourself, or find a buddy that you can run them with, and just continue and continue, and you will just see what freedom starts to come in. Okay, great to be with you today, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'm so grateful for you. It would be great if you could subscribe, great if you could leave a review wherever you're listening. And if you'd like some quick, simple tips to overcome shyness wherever you are, please go to my website, fionacuts.com, where you can download my free product, 5 Steps to Overcoming Shyness Wherever You Are. Thank you again, and see you next time.